CT1 is a tough congressional district for Republicans. The last time they won was 1956. Last week we had candidate John Decker on, and today we are joined by Republican Mike McDonald, a town council member from Windsor. Mr. McDonald, good to have you on the program.
Dennis, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So despite these figures of 1956, the last victory, you want to run, and obviously you think you can win. What's the strategy?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things that I've looked at, and when this was it was a tough decision because I have a family, and it took me, I sat down with my wife a number of times and the kids, and just the commitment, the commitment is large, and my wife Kelly has been phenomenal in supportive of me, and the kids have. So when I looked at running, I said, I'm fed up, like a lot of people are, with the course in Washington, and I think that our representatives aren't representing us, and the partisan bickering and battling, and that's on both sides. That a lot of people are fed up. We have job creation isn't there. We have some fuel issues. The everyday American is struggling to put food on their table and to basically, move their family and achieve. And I think that they're not listening to us in Washington. So my strategy is going to be to touch as many people as possible, go to every town, knock on every single door, and just get the message out that it is time for change.
And it seems in order to win, you have to persuade these people to basically fire their congressman who's been around for, 14 years now. And you sort of have to blame him for the problems that the country is going through right now. How do you do that?
Well, Congressman Larson, I don't blame him he's not the sole problem, but he is part of the problem. And I think that what we're going to do is we're going to look at the votes and see what he stood on, and if that has been good for Connecticut in the 1st District. And I think it comes down to asking people, are you better off today than you were a few years ago? Or are you not? And if you think you are and you like the direction of this country and where we're going, then I'm not the guy to vote for. But if you want somebody who's going to work very hard to try to find solutions and to get the district, the state, and the country moving forward, who's not worried about the special interests in Washington or being in the leadership, then I'm the guy to vote for.
I can't remember the last time we had 2 Republicans running for the seat right now, and it's obviously you'll have a convention and a primary. Is that good for the race?
I think it is. I know John Decker. He's a nice guy, a great guy. We've spent some time together, and I think that we make the party stronger by doing this. Obviously, I want the nomination, and I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think I could get it and then win the general election. My experience in business, I've run a company. And I understand job creation. I understand what it feels like to sit there during the week and say, well, how am I going to make payroll? To go without a paycheck. Those are things that I understand, and the experience that I've had as well in elected office. I've served 2 terms in the Windsor Board of Education. I'm in my 3rd term on the Windsor Town Council. And that experience, to me, I think will really help me when I go to Washington. Plus, if you ask my wife, I have some Italian stubbornness in me. And I'm not going to be intimidated by the folks down there. I want to go down there. I want to do what's right for the district, what's right for the state. And that would be my plan.
Earlier in the broadcast, Congressman Shays sort of alluded to this, that the Republicans have had a problem in the cities for a long time. In Hartford, they didn't even field a mayoral candidate. How does that hurt your chances? I mean, they're not even really present in the city.
I've been to the Hartford Republican Committee, and Mike McGarry, I think, is doing a great job revitalizing the party. And I want to help him with that. And I'm going to go and I'm going to campaign in the city. I'm going to knock on doors. I'm not giving anything up. I'm not conceding anything, especially the cities. My grandmother is 96 years old. I love her to death. She's the rock of our family. She's lived in Hartford for almost 70 years. And so I have a tie to Hartford. So I'm going to go, and I'm not going to be scared that we haven't won or we haven't been as strong over the years.
What kind of input are you getting from other Republicans about your race?
It's been very humbling. I've heard from a lot of people. They're happy I'm running. They think it's a fresh face. They think that I have a good shot at bringing some energy into the race. So they've supported me pretty well, and I am appreciative of that.
Specifically, who have you spoken to? Any party leaders? Or?
I have. I've spoken to Chairman Jerry Labriola. I've spoken to a number of the state central committee members, Sonia Dean, Enzo Farinza. So I've spoken to a number of those people who've been supportive.
As you look at the voting trends in the 1st District over the past several years, the last time there was, I believe Kevin O'Connor in '98 was the last one who did fairly well in this race. As you analyze those figures, what have you learned? Where do you have to concentrate on?
Well, I think Ann Brickley did pretty well last time. I believe she got 38% of the vote, which obviously still didn't win. But I've looked at the towns that she did well in, the towns she didn't, and we've kind of looked at the numbers, and we're going to attack it basically on where we can do better in some of the places that were won by a Republican, and then some of the closer towns, we're really going to make a hard effort. But again, I'm not going to concede anything. I'm going everywhere, and I'm going to get my message out, and that's my plan.
Do you agree with Congressman Shays that it's bad for our state that it's completely Democratic?
I do. I mean, I think there needs to be some Northeast Republicans down in Washington. I think we bring a different perspective. Anytime you have 5 congressmen and two senators, pretty much, that are Democrats, they tend to think the same way, they tend to vote the same way, and I don't think that's good for Connecticut or the country. So I think an influx of a few Republicans from the Northeast would do the country well and the state.
Mike McDonald, Republican in CT1, best of luck, and we'll see you again in the program.
Dennis, thank you so much.
Now, in our flashback today, my very first Senate race I ever covered. I'm actually embarrassed to air this old film, but it was from when I was a rookie reporter in Rockford, Illinois, covering the big 1990 Senate race between Senator Paul Simon and Congresswoman Lynn Martin.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dennis House. It is no secret Lynn Martin wants to unseat Senator Paul Simon. The Loves Park Republican has been laying the groundwork for a Senate campaign all summer long. Tomorrow, she'll make it official with a series of announcements beginning right here in Rockford. Earlier tonight, I had the opportunity to talk with Mrs. Martin. She's a little anxious about tomorrow, but she says she has no regrets. This is a big decision, obviously a carefully planned one. Any doubts?
Oh, sure. I think you go, but not many, I must say. The question of, giving up a safe seat. But the seat is safe only if you worked at it. So it was not a case of giving up. It wasn't as if, I was going to go out to pasture if I didn't run. I was still going to be in the Congress. I know that. If I thought my opponent was a very nice man, it's not, I don't have any personal vendetta against Paul. If I thought he was doing the right job or really wanted to do it, he wants to be president. We're just going to kind of help him along.
Lynn, what is Senator Simon going to attack you on? What kind of attacks will he have against you?
Well, he's going to have to look very hard. Not because I'm a perfect person, but because I think the kinds of things I'm talking about match Illinois.
Mrs. Martin, the theme of the campaign is to label you as a liberal, which worked quite well for the Republicans against Mike Dukakis in 1988. How do you feel about that? Are you a liberal, and do you like the title? Is it something you're going to advertise?
It is not a title I use. It is a title that others use against me. If by liberal they mean I want to waste money, then it doesn't fit, because I have been very judicious in the whole money field, fiscally conservative. If by liberal they mean I want to fight for quality education for everybody and long-term care for seniors and fighting for working men and women, then you bet I'm a liberal. I'm pleased to have the title.
That Senate race was very educational for me. You can read all about that race on my blog. And the 2 big lessons that I learned from covering that Senate race. Number 1, make sure that your socks are high enough, and make sure that you never call a congressperson by his or her first name. You can read all about that on my blog, The Hartfordite. That's on WFSB.com. We also welcome your comments about today's program on my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/DennisHouse3. Also on Twitter at DennisHouseWFSB. Let's talk about those debates that we told you about a little bit earlier in the program. The Republican Senate debate will be held Sunday, April 22nd, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. right here on Channel 3 during our Faces Date time slot, an extended version of that. All the candidates have been invited. The Democratic debate will be the week before. That'll be Sunday, April 15th. Again, all the Democrats have been invited. 11 a.m. We'll have a panel, good questions. Should be fascinating to watch both these things. And if you have any suggested questions, feel free to send them to me right here at the station. Once again, those 2 debates coming up next month. We thank you for joining us on this Sunday. Get out there and enjoy some good weather. And we'll see you back here tomorrow night for Eyewitness News beginning at 5 o'clock. And, of course, next week on Face the State. That's Sunday morning at 11. Have a great day, everybody.